From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for May 17th, 2016. In just a moment, we'll be taking a look at the EURUSD, the euro versus the US dollar for today's trade analysis. But first I want to recap a couple of the trade suggestions made since yesterday and in the live trade room yesterday. Starting here on the USDCHF, the dollar franc, we've been looking for opportunities to go long in the direction of our current momentum, which has been clearly bullish along the blue trend line. So yesterday we saw the market push above, after the market opened, push above the 97.50 level. As it dipped back down to that 97.50 level, as it came back down into that support, looking for a buy and targeting the top of our long-term daily channel that we've been studying into the 9800 level. You can see the trade going down here at the very bottom of the chart. There it is right there. 97.57 was the entry. Currently sitting 28 pips of profit on the trade. Of course, the trade manager is in play, taking advantage of the trade manager, locking in the stop loss into profit as it continues to move in our direction. Again, we're targeting 9,800 on the dollar franc. Next, moving over to the USD CAD, the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. You can see that going down here, 28.80. 1.2880 was the buy. We saw it dipping down here again into the support zone, the orange shaded area. So a buy into 28.80, a little bit more aggressive maybe than normal, but because oil prices have been on the rise, but definitely have an opportunity now. We're sitting with 45 pips of profit from the orange shaded area, now looking for it to continue to pressure higher towards the 1.3 thousand level. Of course, US data today could change all of that, but definitely looking for the 3,000 level as our target. If it can break above there, much more profit to be seen. If oil takes a significant rise again, we'll probably look for this to turn back down. Of course, we're using the trade manager to manage the profit and the trade anyways, so we're at break even, or actually better than break even at the current moment. So we're locked into profit, can't lose on the trade. But definitely watching oil prices and the news coming up in about 25 minutes from the recording of this video. Next, moving over to, let's head on over to the US yen. It was sitting on top of this orange shaded area. Of course, we've seen bullish momentum over the past couple of days. Really, since the beginning of May, we've seen more bullish than bearish momentum. So looking for a rise into the resistance zone, into the mid 109s. So the market was sitting on top of 108.75. There's the trade going down right here, 108.75, sitting 74, 75 pips of profit at the current moment. I've seen a little bit more just a little while ago, but looking for the breakout above 109.75 and the continuation towards 110. We'll watch the US data. Could send this back down again for the US yen. And lastly, NZD USD, we saw the market rising. We talked about this yellow and the blue shaded areas yesterday and the opportunities that would arise if it came back up into 68.20 to 68.40. I placed a sell right in the middle of the yellow shaded area at 68.30. The market took me in. I'm sitting about 30 pips of profit on the trade right now, looking to target the pink shaded area on down here towards the 65, 67.50 level on the way down. If it turns around and goes back up, that's okay. Of course, we're using the trade manager to manage the profit on that trade. So all four of those working out quite nicely in our favor. Of course, we discussed yesterday the potential impact of news on the Australian dollar, and that, of course, caused the market to spike higher and then rapidly pull back at the current moment. Take it down to the 4-hour time frame. There's the spike higher. So that was the risk on the news. As I mentioned yesterday, if the market hadn't taken me into the trade prior to the news, it would be a good idea maybe to remove that pending order prior to the news. And at least at this point, that looks like it was a good idea because it had made that spike higher. I think if we can get some bearish momentum back into this and it gets back underneath 7,300, we'll look for the resumption of the downtrend. Any bullish momentum and maybe poor data out of the US coming up here in a few minutes, we could look for this to go back up again. Same thing over here on the GBP USD. We had a trade going right around the 4,400, maybe just a little bit shy of the 4,400 level. The market just continued to pressure higher back into the 4,500 level. That one was a stop loss for us because we were in the trade. That one was a stop loss, so hopefully you were using appropriate risk strategies in that case. All these other forward trades have clearly made up for that stop loss without any problem there. I think, at least for the day today, we did, that data was not perfect. I mean, we did have a little poor data out of the UK, so I would suspect we're still going to look for resistance here at 4,500, and the only reason to start buying this pair is if it gets back above 1.4550 or so above the orange zone. That would mean I think we're looking for a buy scenario. Otherwise, underneath 4,500, I think this still remains a sell scenario here for the GBP, something to watch for as we go through our day. Take it over here to the euro dollar, of course. Long term, weekly time frame, real quick. We have been studying the long-term range since January 2015, the red box that you see here on the weekly time frame. So that's something to consider. You take it down here to the daily time frame. There it is right there. There's the red box. We've been up there at the top and reversed off of the top of that range and the red box. So we have some bearish momentum starting here. Of course, U.S. data today could change all of this, but definitely something to watch for is that bearish momentum. Zoom it back in here a couple of times here on the daily. Take a look at our orange shaded area, holding as support 1, 2, and now the third day sitting into 113, 1300, 1320, 1300. So right now, the orange zone is support. If it finds support, we get poor data out of the U.S. today. We could look for this to take another rise higher, maybe back to the blue shaded area here, or possibly as high as the green shaded area today. That would be interesting, and we'll look at that later in the trade room as a potential head and shoulders pattern developing here for the euro dollar. Now, if we get good news out of the U.S. today, a breakdown of the orange zone, push underneath 113, we're back down into the mid to low 112s, and that's the yellow shaded area down here. So what I'm looking for today is either bad news out of the U.S. causes it to go up, giving us a sell opportunity into resistance, similar to what you might have looked for here at the green zone. Sell opportunity into resistance for the euro dollar will be our next move. Otherwise, if it's good news, we look for the breakdown of 113 and selling opportunities targeting into the mid to low 112s for the euro dollar today.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.